All right.
I'm recording now.
Okay.
Oh, excellent.
All right. And everybody, if you want to see just the speakers in the presentation, you can turn the speaker view, and then you can click the little thing again where you can do the side-by-side view. So try to figure that out, because that makes the presentation look a lot better.
Speaker view, yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
And you can put the screen side by side. All right, Axia, it's in your hands. Starting at 5:22. Get it going.
Hi, I'm Audrey, and I'm going to be talking about the objective of our campaign today. And so the problem is that businesses now more than ever in light of COVID-19 are facing supply chain challenges in areas of loss prevention, risk assessment, and maintaining stability and trust with the end consumer. By utilizing the value chain index created by the Axia Institute, clients can evaluate the current state of their supply chain production through the VCI survey, which identifies areas of improvement in their supply chain operations. This will help clients find a range of solutions unique to their business, including reducing costs, discovering more effective and efficient means to carry out all the supply chain processes, all while keeping the end consumer's voice heard throughout. Our team of myself, Lucy, Ben, Harlisha, and Niall has worked to develop a campaign that promotes how VCI works and why it is important for VPs, directors of supply chain, and other business people to revolutionize their supply chain to a value chain with the VCI research and developed by Axia Institute.
I'm Niall, and I'm just going to give a quick overview of the Axia Institute. The Axia Institute is a cross-disciplinary research institute that specializes in optimizing total value system strategies, or strategies that maximize value across all facets of the supply chain. Our main clients are CEOs in charge of large supply chains in both the business and nonprofit sectors. The big idea behind the Axia Institute is to streamline the value chain approach for all clients. This means making sure communication is running smoothly between all elements of the supply chain, and doing this will allow us to help companies produce top quality products as well as provide top quality service to their customers. Some of the fundamental values the Axia Institute strives to meet are consumers' voices. One of the main reasons for using a value chain approach is to have higher quality services delivered to your consumer. So their feedback is important to ensure that everything is working. Innovation, like MSU paved the way for supply chain many years ago. We're doing the same thing with the value chain and the value chain index. Collaboration, what we do wouldn't work without people wanting to collaborate with us and make that switch to the value chain. Problem solving strategies and research. Each company offers a different challenge when it comes to integrating the VCI, and the Axia Institute is always researching newer and better ways to help them do that. And finally, education and sustainability. We make sure to educate each business so that the change to the value chain index is as smooth as possible and sustainable without our help in the long term.
Hello, my name is Harlisha, and I'll be getting to Value Chain Index. This is where Axia revolutionizes supply chain, value chain solutions with a cohesive approach to maximizing value. Value chains take a complete view of a system, considering every link and activity from start to finish. Value chain implementation can distribute exceptional value to organizations in order to solve challenges that they face. Research done at Axia Institute is geared towards solutions such as food and water supplies that are dependable. I'll get into how that's done. With a focused strategy, this holistic view can lead to solutions to these challenges by taking a complete view of the system and analyzing the relationship of each part. First, we have utilizing cutting-edge technology in order to come up with survey taking, and then using that data from these VCI surveys. Next, we have a diagram of just the 7 main competencies that are very important and crucial to the VCI. This starts with talent, resource, and governance, and then ends with the technology and the business processes that are integrated into all of them. Next, I'll talk about the anatomy of value chain, which is the start and finish, which starts with raw materials, processing, then we have manufacturing, distribution, leading to retail, and ending at the consumer. The methodology that will assist in identifying these upward and downward trends in efficiency may trigger the need for a network redesign in order to improve performance. Solutions are created through these case studies and company interviews. These measurements include supply chain costs, varying demand levels, even reliability scores that are critical measurements identified throughout these interviews that are effectively incorporated into these decision-making processes. The last diagram we have, this shows the approach is created to increase efficiency based on several factors, overcoming various issues, providing decision makers with an index to monitor performance over time. This model also provides assistance in redesigning the network to counteract negative elements. Key insights and information is found on Axios Institute website.
Hi, I'm Lucy, and I'm gonna be covering the publication and graphic we designed for Axia Institute. So this is a one-page long press release that can be used for future promotion of the Axia Institute. This publication aims to introduce the fundamental perspectives of the Axia Institute in order to launch the one and only value chain index concept with like more big and small business owners to push their business more forward and successful. Next, we have the graphic we designed for the Axia Institute. We have collaborated with one professional graphic designer to come up with this brochure for Axia Institute. This brochure focuses on three things, which are what the Axia Institute is, how the value chain index works, and why is it important. We also covered contact information on there, so if people feel the need to talk to Axia people, they can just go to all that.
Hi, I'm Ben, and I'll be talking about the video treatment that we made for Axia Institute. Our team's video is meant to be an informational piece as well as an advertisement, and it's aimed at informing and enticing potential clients by providing a visual representation of the value chain index workflow and how it can help the business they own or work for. It starts with explaining each step of what Axia does in their value chain index and the process clients will go through when working with us. The end of the video reinforces all of Axia's values, including education, research, and innovation. For our budget, through the use of the various directors, actors, cameramen, and everything else, the total should come out to about $8,275. For our script, the first scene will start with Axia's logo superimposed on screen with the camera slowly panning out. The next scene will have our narrator give an overview of the value chain index and then transition to an animation representing an expert researcher. It will then cut to an animation that represents the assessment process of the VCI, and then that will transition to another animation going through the various competencies that are tested, as well as an animation representing the advice and management process. And throughout these animations, the narrator will be explaining everything. It will then transition to an animation depicting raw materials, processing, manufacturing, distribution, and retail aspects of Axia. And then finally, an animation of the consumer with their product. The last scene of the video will come to a teacher pointing to a whiteboard with the value chain anatomy on it, explaining it to her class and summing up the whole message of the video and ending with a call to action.
This is our marketing campaign, and so we did a specific COVID-19 campaign to target businesses whose supply chain has been severely disrupted in this time. The campaign and graphic shows how businesses can benefit from the VCI through the dimension of risk assessment to help identify areas of improvement even during this time of need and find solutions to help facilitate adding value to the end consumer while also streamlining all supply chain processes. The graphic is designed to increase brand awareness with bright color and catchy headline. And the most important part is the call to action. To learn more, visit Axia Institute, which is our main goal to increase engagement of potential clients going on the website and taking the VCI survey. This target audience, platform, and language can be used for any campaign. And we tracked all of this with LinkedIn's native platform of LinkedIn Insights. Our target audience, as we discussed earlier, but for this specific campaign, is VPs, directors of supply chain, and other business officials who would be interested in advancing their supply chain. Using LinkedIn Insights, I segmented this demographic by location, job titles, and also companies they could potentially work for that would be interested in revolutionizing their supply chain. We chose LinkedIn as the primary social media account to share this campaign because it is designed to professionally network, which is what we're promoting to do business to business. Using LinkedIn Insights, we plan to implement the following goals, which are to increase the click-through rate by 40%, to increase the new unique website visits to an additional 500 over the duration of the next 30 days of the campaign, and increase overall impressions on LinkedIn by 100,000, which is feasible considering the prediction on LinkedIn said that we would get a reach of 840,000. And then this is how we would budget this and a breakdown of the goals. So in conclusion, we plan to implement these promotions to attract businesses to revolutionize and transform their supply chain production through the Axia Institute's patented Value Chain Index to identify, evaluate, and apply optimized total system value strategies to streamline all processes and add value at every step of production. Our team is so grateful for the opportunity to work with our wonderful sponsor, Mr. John Hatfield, and learn about how the revolutionary VCI model and the Axia Institute can provide innovative and sustainable solutions to global value chain challenges. Thank you for your time, and now we will open the floor to questions.
Thank you. This is excellent.
All right, round of applause for Axia. Our first volunteers to go first. Did an amazing job, very informational presentation, and obviously your client is happy, so that's the first indication that you guys did a great job. Right now, we'll open up. We got about 5 minutes. We can open up for questions, Q&A, feedback, anything any of the sponsors might want to give them.
Yeah, I mean, from my standpoint, I think the team again did a really good job, and I think stuff that we're dealing with is, you know, it's somewhat complex. We are technically part of the university, and we are, you know, we sort of straddle the line between academia and the corporation and the corporate world and industry. So we're talking to industry on a regular basis. So I think you guys did a really good job of pulling out key opportunities and insights from all of our conversations. And I think your go forward plan is good. My question to the team would be, what kinds of opportunities do you guys see out there, you know, from where you sit in this class and the work that you've done over the quarter? I'm interested to see what kind of opportunities you see us having. I know we've got just a couple minutes left.
So I did like the COVID-19 campaign because I think that supply chain always can be streamlined and you can always add value. But I think now more than ever, businesses are scrambling to figure out how to secure every single step of the supply chain. And the Axia Institute is like perfectly positioned to do that. You have all the research and the survey, and people can get data and compare their results through the competencies. So I think that could really be a super important tool for such a variety of industries, especially right now.
Okay.
Cool. I was impressed with the fact that, go ahead, Niall.
I think with the COVID-19 stuff, everyone's going to really see that there's a problem with the way they're handling things currently, and that with the push that the Axia Institute's making, we're going to be the solution that they're looking for to avoid problems like this in the future.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Yeah, I was impressed with the way how quickly the team caught on to what the VCI is, because it's a very complicated process. It's very abstract. It's out of, the expertise of most comm students. It's not even within the expertise of most business people for that matter. So you guys caught on extremely quickly, incredibly well organized. I loved your assets. I loved the way it moved. I think it's just a wonderful campaign, and believe me, we'll use that information, and because I think it's just the right campaign aimed at a very timely spot. So I think an excellent choice.
And I think adding on to what Bill said, I really think that, that you guys have positioned it here is a lesson to us in terms of how we go back out to our customers and refine our messages to make sure that we're hitting on all the right topics, because you guys stepped into this and pulled stuff out, and that'll be good stuff that we can use going forward to help develop this further. So thank you. Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you. And I honestly learned so much. I had no idea about anything supply chain, and now I feel really well versed in it. And I just really appreciate the opportunity to learn a lot. And
you're welcome. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Great.
See you,
I will say too, before we keep going, I did want to say this. Don't hate me for being the only person that's saying something that you can do better. But with that presentation, I would really like to see the plan unfold a little bit more. I really like how you guys dived into the LinkedIn and figuring out your audience and stuff like that. I would like to hear a little bit more of the process of what you're going to do to get to that audience and reach those goals. Like, you guys outlined perfectly what the goals are, what you want to do with the VCI. You guys outlined who you want to reach. Now, I want to hear more of that plan of what you're going to do on LinkedIn. All right, what type of stuff are you posting? How are you capturing these leads? How are you, turning these leads into people who are actually going to buy? If you guys dive deeper into that, 100% solid presentation, because everything else you guys hit the bases on. So congrats.
That's great. That's
Thank
great
you.
feedback.
That's great
We
feedback.
appreciate the extra.
Set the tone.
We had so much fun. This was a challenging yet so engaging. It made me, do a little extra research, and I think everybody in my group did a little extra research and went, took the extra step and extra mile to really keen in on like what VCI is. And I really appreciate, like you said, we really appreciate you, Mr. Hatfield. You were very insightful, and it was
You guys are welcome.
So yeah, it really
My
opened.
pleasure.
It was something new for us, and it was the connection to MSU. I think is really like put that passionate drive behind us, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Go green.
Go white.
Wait.
Know that. All right, so next up, we appreciate that. Thank you guys so much, students and our sponsors too. So next up, we have Kroger. So the Kroger group will be coming up. We'll give everybody like a 2-minute break. We'll start at 5:42. We're right back on track. That way, if you have to get a glass of water or use the bathroom, or Kroger, if you're feeling like you're ready to go, take the wheel.
Also, if there's any other sponsors from other groups who want to speak on any other groups at any time, during Q&A,
Yes.
feel free. We would like to hear from other groups who weren't working with the students as well, to kind of get their feedback on what they saw as well.
Absolutely.
I had a question. Are we supposed to still be filling out the scoring rubric while other groups are going?
No, not for the students.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the students don't fill out anything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can you guys hear us?
Good question though.
New Image, we can hear you. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just one comment to build upon what was said earlier, and I know it was somewhat implied but not clearly stated, I thought, and that is the measurement criteria such that how do you establish best practices and what are you using by way of a scorecard, knowing your starting point, knowing your end point, and then employing within that a continuous improvement cycle.
Right. In the value chain?
Well, that's the thing I would add. You need to monitor this thing on a regular basis, and then we need to ensure that we're using best practices to constantly be sharpening the tool, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Kind of how it works. Yeah. And our goal is, we look at companies that are, basically they're completing the value chain index. They're able to see how they're doing, what the scores of their employees are, and it's essentially a response-based curriculum. So that we've developed a curriculum that hits on all of the 7 competencies, so that if you need more help in, customer integration or digital and integrative technologies. There are modules that your business people, individuals can go take to study on those and get better. So that's the ultimate goal. And then with assessment, go back after the education, go back to your job, and let's take it again and assess learning at some point down the road. But that's great feedback. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for that
Arco,
feedback.
you're good about your guys' time.
All right, we are ready.
Okay.
All right. Hello and welcome. I would like to first start off by thanking everyone for taking time out of their busy schedule and I'm sure hectic schedule at this time. We really appreciate this amazing learning opportunity. So thank you guys very much. We are the Michigan State and Kroger Collaboration Group, and we are excited to present to you guys. Over the past several weeks, we have passionately worked with 3 amazing individuals that work at Kroger. We have been working, like I said, passionately on developing well-rounded associate resource group campaign. So with that, here we go.
So I'm Megan.
I'm India.
David, you having trouble?
I'm Julia.
And I'm Kyle, and this is our Michigan State side of the team. And then this is the Kroger side of the team. Like I mentioned, these are 3 great individuals that all work within Kroger's regional management division. We have Joe Gussman, Rachel Hurst, and Kenneth Coleman. So with this, I would like to thank these 3 individuals. You guys have supplied us with more than enough materials and information to develop a well-rounded campaign that we are seriously passionate about, and I know you guys are too, so thank you guys very much. You guys are awesome. So our campaign is a bit different than everyone else's. Kroger wanted to target an internal campaign. They have 19,000 employees that they're trying to target, and specifically 3 demographics within those 19,000 employees, women, millennials, and minorities. All 3 of these demographics are somewhat, in one way or another, usually neglected in the workforce in small or large ways. So Kroger's message to them is that they can grow both professionally and more importantly, personally through these awesome associate resource groups that they are supplying for them. So that's our message.
Okay, so this is kind of one of our visuals that we partnered with Chris Lemon to kind of make. After collaborating with the Kroger team, we kind of settled on the "You Grow, We Grow" kind of slogan for our whole campaign. We're going to talk more about how we're going to push out the campaign later, but since the resource associate groups cover 3 different areas of Kroger employees, we thought we would make one big visual to kind of like umbrella that and then kind of go more into each of the resource associate groups with a different visual. But we also wanted to use Krojis, which are these cute little animations that you've been seeing on the slides. This is a campaign that Kroger's kind of trying to push out for their whole communication overall and marketing plan. So we wanted to kind of put that into our presentation and into our plan so that they can push it out internally as well. So I'm going to give it over to Julia so she can talk more about the Women's Edge resource group.
Yeah, so the first ARG I want to introduce is Women's Edge. Women's Edge has easily set the foundation for the rest of these programs just because it has been around for a while. The entire program definitely works to promote women both professionally and personally. Sorry. Externally, I'm blanking right now. This is really embarrassing. Okay, so it set the foundation because it's proven success both internally and externally through community outreach and personal growth, which is what we want for the rest of these programs.
So Kroger's Associate Group for Diversity is for all minorities as pretty much a safe haven and support group for diverse people. As a minority, some things that I have encountered in the workplace has been things such as other employees or customers making insensitive remarks or jokes, whether it be intentional or not, and just not having anyone around to really vouch for me. Working in a retail place like Kroger, it's especially difficult with customers when there's this notion that the customer is always right, even when issues like this come up. It's still something that we have to deal with. So another issue that I commonly face is feeling under-supported or overlooked by management. Like my problems aren't really valid, or I'm being too sensitive, or I'm asking for maybe too much or special treatment just for wanting to be treated the same as other people. And last but not least, another thing that I deal with is just feeling like an other in the workplace. When you're a minority, there's no on and off switch. You're forced into that box every day. And in the workplace, it can be a constant reminder when you walk in those doors and no one looks like you, especially people that are in power. So Kroger's resource groups are striving to lend a helping hand in these areas, serving as allies that will hear the employees out and provide tools to combat these issues that they face day to day. And what's great about this is that it's also open to people who are not minorities so that they can like lend a helping hand and learn how to basically be a better coworker as well. So next we're going to be talking to Kyle about the Young Professionals Resource Group too.
Thank you, India. So millennials and young professionals is something that's often overseen when addressing maybe workforce neglect. And I think that's probably the biggest issue with young professionals is that their problems aren't seen as maybe as important as others. And we're often looked as a generation that might be lazy or don't work as hard as other generations because we don't need to go out and have a labor intensive job 5 days a week. We spend a lot of time, whether it's for fun or for work online, maybe not doing, like I said, those labor intensive jobs. So we're neglected in the workforce in a lot of areas that our jobs or our ideas aren't insightful. We don't know what's going to happen, and Kroger's really flipping the switch on that. Which we are extremely passionate about. They're flipping up the switch in the manner that they are looking at these young professionals as insightful, smart individuals that are undoubtedly the future of their company and potentially the future success of their company. So they're really putting a lot of resources in them, and we appreciate that. So thank you guys.
Okay, so our memo is kind of different than everyone else's. Given that this is an internal campaign, Kroger kind of wants to focus on their employees, not really how the public views them, which we think is awesome. So we kind of switched up our publication to be an internal publication in an internal memo rather than a press release or something that maybe the other groups would have done. So kind of is the email that we plan to like send out to the employees. It kind of describes the programs as well as why they're important, and it describes how their involvement, what they can gain from it, and what Kroger is kind of aiming to do. So this will be alongside the video that Julia is going to talk about.
So for the video treatment, we wanted to incorporate the Krojis for sure. This is probably only about a 30-second video, but if you look at the storyboard here, you can see scene 1, we have Krojis representing the 3 demographics that we are focused on. They all have these ideas of opportunity, growth, and mentorship, and together they plant this idea rooted in those 3 things. So then you go to scene 3, you see Krojis from other demographics interested in it, and in scene 4, they all buy into the idea. They start watering this plant that then turns into Kroger. And then after that, fades out and you see the new Kroger logo with our slogan for this campaign, which is "Your growth is our growth."
So our consumer analysis is pretty unique because we're not promoting this to people outside of Kroger. This is all internal. So this is mostly to get new members to join within Kroger's organization, but then also retain people as well. So like we mentioned before, the specific demographics are millennials, minorities, and women. And this is just to create a very beneficial and satisfactory and conducive work environment. A lot of people that are at Kroger, they don't really necessarily want to move up, but they still want to be treated well with just where they're at, and they still want to be heard where they're at. So this group is for people who not only want to move up, but also people who want to stay where they're at and still benefit. And the overall goal for our campaign is just to make people feel like they're supported at Kroger, because there is someone in their corner at Kroger that's there to support them and hear them out.
So to promote these programs, since it is an internal campaign, we want to keep it within the internal networks. Kroger uses 3 main ones, which is KTV, Kroger's TV. They do weekly broadcasts, which is probably where we would on and off stream that video that I talked about. Yodel, which is basically Kroger's Facebook, so to say, where you can like share, comment, post whatever you want. Another place we can share the video information. And for physical, as like a physical platform, we're thinking more of email blasts. It's really easy to reach everyone, and posters within the physical workplace. And at the bottom of these posters, we planned on having QR codes that you can scan super easy, and it'll direct you right to a link on how to get involved and what all of these programs are about.
So for our marketing plan and goals, our basic plan is to collaborate a bunch of visuals, whether it be posters or brochures, videos, and emails to push out this message that Kroger is trying to supply to their employees, that anyone can be successful if they put their mind to it. So some of our goals throughout this campaign, our clients really wanted us to shoot for the stars, so we did. We want to develop a well-established associate resource group, and that's not as easy as it sounds. It's hard to get individuals involved. So we're really stressing that we have these cool visuals and employee engagement to basically persuade these individuals to join, and then eventually find success, and they'll speak for themselves. Another goal is to increase employee engagement. Like I said, just having employees being happy to work there makes for a better environment, and makes for a better shopping experience for the customers. And along with that, creating an inviting and empowering atmosphere is probably the most important part of all of this. Letting individuals know that they're welcome, and like I said, if they put their mind to it, they can be anyone that they want, and they can do anything that they want. So something to I guess gauge if these goals are met is just simply increasing the number of women, millennials, and people of diverse backgrounds in upper level management. This will allow us to know that their ideas are getting heard. They are feeling confident. They feel like they can reach the success that they need. So that's our biggest goal. And ultimately, we're hoping that Kroger will be the best supermarket out there. So, yeah.
We wanted to provide Kroger with quality at a reasonable price. So when we looked at videography, there's a basement of $2,000, and the high point is $6,000 in terms of quality. The associate research group's videos, music, would be from 99 cents to $5 at the utmost. Whereas the voice actor, we want to hire a Michigan State actor, it would be around $500 to do the voiceover. Now, we also have $678 to put 2 posters in the 10 stores within that Michigan region, as well as $215.37 for the 500 brochures at these locations. We were able to maintain a budget beneath $10,000, and we think that we're able to provide them with the quality product that they deserve. Now, with our future investment, you shouldn't be spending anything higher than $50 to get a high-end web page. You really shouldn't, and we know that we can develop a product that's reasonable for Kroger within that means. We'll need additional classroom mentors for the additional associate resource groups. Then they will be trained up by the other mentors that are currently in their positions. We'll need to annually purchase brochures at the same rate as we would initially, unfortunately. but posters would only need to be updated every 5 years to conform to the current styles and maybe even other means to provide the information. Now, an annual poster that would be a little bit less than the initial investment. But we'll conclude on how these associate resource groups will apply to the future. There's 19,000 Kroger employees currently, and we want to make this a nationwide campaign, although the Michigan region will be sort of the petri dish to see what works and what doesn't. As Julia stated earlier, there will be hyperlinks and QR codes distributed through Yodel and other platforms, especially on those brochures and posters, so we get that word out. New mentors will be trained, as I've stated, and we want to push this into the LGBTQ+, disabled people, and veteran groups for the future. I'll turn it over to Kyle.
Okay, so lastly, we would honestly just to show our appreciation to everyone that's been involved in this process. It has been a great process, and I want to especially thank Rachel, Joe, and Kenneth for taking all the time, and Kroger as a whole. We loved this experience, and we now love you guys in Kroger, so thank you. And finally, I would love to thank Jay, David, and Mr. Will Donahue for one of the most applicable real-world classes actually the most real-world applicable class I've ever been involved in. It's been an amazing experience. So thank you, everyone. This has been an awesome experience. So thank you.
All right. Claps for Kroger. That was an amazing presentation. Great job, guys. Did a really great
Joe,
job.
can I go first?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so I'm not looking at my camera because my screen's actually here. So I apologize if I'm looking off center, but I'm so speechless. I'm so blown away, to be honest with you. And I think, you know, we have a very large company, being one of the largest grocers in the nation. And the material that our own company has provided to us isn't even the caliber that you guys have provided to us. To be completely transparent with you, this completely blows it out of the water. It is 100% something we could take today and implement tomorrow. It's well defined. The whole theme throughout of it and using Krogies is just awesome. Again, I think it was very well done because as we continue to be, you know, as you said, David, a petri dish here in Michigan in trying to take this potentially nationally, having used the Krogies as our marketing and our brand standard was well done because we can take the material and say, hey, you know, here's what we're trying, here's what we're doing. And then, you know, potentially taking something across 35 plus more states. Hats off to you guys, truly. I think that the material itself already kind of even grabs my attention. And you know, Joe leads the diversity group here and I lead the women's edge group here. And I want to take these materials and just broadcast them. And you guys truly have taken a very unique, you know, it's not a brand that you can just go out and put on LinkedIn or in no offense to that group, you guys did phenomenal, but it's difficult. You guys had a difficult challenge to try and take a brand that was an internal campaign and how do you sell it to your associates and how do we sell it to our team members? And so very unique, very well done. I couldn't be more proud of you guys, to be honest with you. Awesome job.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll second that. It was better than I thought. I knew it was going to be good because we had talked so much, but it was right on. Just to Rachel's point, the content and just the whole presentation of it we can use, which is what I was hoping for. Rachel is right, and Kyle, I think you said it too. It's to brand internally on growing people is more difficult than you think, and it's super difficult to get off the ground. And in any organization that you young cats get into, people are it, and that is the bottom line. I don't care what mission statement a company has, it's that. And you guys have hit it. A couple notes here. You grow, we grow. I'm telling you, man, that is.
I love it.
We might have to pay you because that
I know.
I was having a hard time figuring if it was Kroger, and then I was like, wait, that's too good because it's really, really good. I got to tell you, we grow, you grow, we grow. I am going to use. You took my words, although I didn't say those words, but you took the vision and you hit it with 4 simple words, because that's really what these groups are about. I'll also say that as you build a career, the environment that you, as you're building it, lots of people want to get promoted. They want to get promoted fast. As you work in an environment, that's the important piece. And I think you have some really good foundation spots here. These 3 core groups are very important. The young professionals being probably not more important than the other, but in one way, in one sense, that they are the future of the company. But the voice of the company, women and minorities have to be. I thought the comment about a minority, I have to live in that box every day. I'm going to screw your name. I've been Indian. How do you say your first name again?
India.
India. You couldn't have said it better. People and having people of non-minority in that group, so you can kind of understand what that looks like. Because as a minority, I've had to adapt myself many, many times to fit in the business world. And sometimes that's not always easy. And sometimes those comments are there. A lot of times I've adapted myself so much people think I'm Italian, not Mexican. So it's funny to watch that, but I've had to do that. And for minorities, that's real. So just, I thought it was great. I thought that comment about boxed was perfect. And just overall, you guys, just I'll cut it short because I could talk all day. Just real world, this is very close to what we were looking for in the real world application.
Yeah.
And I'm glad this class is out there. William and Jay and David, great stuff. We work with other groups with the university, and real world is important to get these young students ready to go. So just outstanding. And the voiceover, David, Michigan State actor, I love that as well. If we need a voiceover, I guess we'll contact you.
I don't know.
Thank you guys. Awesome job.
But excellent job, man. I couldn't be happier with it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great. I want to second that. I loved it as well. And I think it's a perfect foundation for, I think one of the critical components of this has to be in supervisor, manager, store manager training, so that they understand the you grow, we go concept. It's not the reverse. It's not we grow and then you grow. It's you grow and we facilitate that growth, and then everybody works together better as a team in a way that's effective for the organization and ultimately for customers. So that wasn't your assignment to add the training part, but if I were to really ramp this up, I would include these materials as the foundation for the training program to make sure that everybody is creating the kind of supportive culture that a store needs to really recruit, retain, grow talent. Because Joe is absolutely right. Everybody's in the talent growth business. That's been our business forever at the university. But in business, it's vital that you have to grow talent, and talent drives effectiveness in organizations. And so I'm really pleased with the approach and think you guys did a fabulous job. And I feel like a proud father here with everybody. So thanks for everybody contributing so much.
I guess that made me the proud uncle. I guess
it is
the proud Uncle Jay. And
you two are my sons, so I'm getting rid of all my other kids, and you two are my sons.
I'm cool with that. Just for sake of time, I mean, I can say a million things that I loved about the presentation because it was great. But we got to jump into the next one right now, so I'll stick to my Simon Cowell, and I'll just give a little bit of constructive criticism. And all I would say is I would like to see a little bit more measurables in what makes this program or what makes this campaign successful. So is it all about, more people joining the groups? Is it about more people hearing about this? Is it about more people signing up to the Yodel page that you guys make? Whatever it is, break down those goals a little bit more so you can measure it as the campaign progresses, just so it's not like, it's an awareness campaign and we just want people to know about it. Well, how do we know if people are knowing about it and people are getting involved? We got to start setting some measurables. So other than that, I think that it was perfect. You guys did an amazing job.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Jay.
Oh, no problem. No problem. All right, let's keep the ball rolling. We don't got time for a 2-minute break because we're already 2 minutes past where we're supposed to start. So next group, let's get it. I think it's Eastside Fish Fry. I'm not sure if Henry is on. I hope he is. But
yeah,
he's on.
Okay, amazing. All right then. So we're ready to go. Eastside.
Henry, nice meeting you. I'm Bill Donahue.
Yeah, sorry, Henry. Actually, yeah, let's give Henry the proper introduction.
Let's hear Henry. Yeah.
Yeah, Henry. I know you. We had some confusion on the time because we've been doing that 6 every other day. So I understand that. But just like I already gave a brief introduction of you, from what I had the chance to meet you and everything like that. And I gave him a little bit of background on Eastside Fish Fry. So if you can just, step in and talk about what you care about the most and, how this process was for you to work with the students.
Yeah, my name's Henry. I own Eastside Fish Fry. It was very exciting. We work with students for other organizations for catering and food a lot. We had one class did an interview with me. I can't remember the exact class. It was a business class that came and did an interview with me to talk to me about business. That was really cool because it helps us. We learn a little bit about you guys too, which, students, and, and it helps us, promote to you guys as you, grow and as you stay there for 4 or 5 or 6 years, whatever it is, and hopefully get you to eat at our place as often as possible. And right now, what we're looking forward to with this is trying to grow our catering business more to organizations like, MSU, organizations like, big insurance companies in town, and anybody that wants to eat a lot of fish or chicken. We're also trying to, with this campaign, we're trying to promote more healthy options. Eastside Fish Fry and Grill is known for fried chicken, fried fish, fried food in general. And a few years ago, we added the word grill. And so we're just trying to promote that to the right people so that we can not only change some of the customers that have already been coming to more frequent customers, but also get new customers. And so we're looking forward to see what these guys put together for us and see what we can use in the future.
Are you surviving the quarantine? Are you getting takeouts and stuff, or is that going good?
Actually, Mr. Donahue, business has been really good. Business has been actually a little bit busier than I probably would have said it would have been without it. I think the fact that a lot of restaurants are closed. So if you had 5 or 6 options, 6 months ago to go out to eat tonight, now you only got 3. And so I think it's a big deal for us to be, if we're going to get that choice, if you're going to make that choice to come to us tonight for dinner, we got to make sure that we're doing it safely and doing it, making sure that we're keeping our customers safe, keeping our employees safe. And it's a lot, it adds a lot more small things. You got to wipe this down. You got to wipe that down. Did you touch this? Did you touch that? When was the last time you wiped this down? When was the last time you did this?
Right.
And we already learned those things in classes through the Ingham Health Department, and they have certain time frames that need to change a certain time. Now, we just kind of stepped it up and just been doing it like every 15 to 20 minutes, and it just adds a lot more walking, and we're not letting anybody into the building. So every single order, one of the guys or gals has to walk out to the car and then walk back, get the food, and then they got to make the transaction. And they got to, what if they forgot a sauce? They got to walk all the way back, get the sauce. It's just, it gets a little crazy. We're very excited for May 1st so that we can maybe get back to a little bit of normal. And we're also excited about what we learned from this to be able to move forward and continue to keep our customers safe and continue to learn from these experiences and grow with the community. Yeah.
Well, we're so pleased to have you, and thanks so much for contributing to the class and the community all these years. We really appreciate it.
It's exciting to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys.
Good. Eastside Fish Fry, take it away.
All right. So hello, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. My name is Jamie Zeiler, and I'm with MSU Solutions, Inc. Our client, as we said, is Eastside Fish Fry and Grill. My team has been working alongside Henry, the owner of Eastside, for this campaign. We are very excited to present what we have for Eastside Fish Fry and Grill to all of you tonight, especially Henry, who has dedicated a career to this business. First, I would like to introduce my marketing team. As I said, my name is Jamie Zeiler, and my team includes Marcus Warren, Jordan Smith, Connor Hayward, and Aaliyah Jeter.
Okay, hello. Well, our plan is to run a social media campaign to boost the awareness of the grill items at Eastside Fish Fry. We want to increase awareness of the brand, also increase the revenue of the healthier grill items. Also build an expansion, so hopefully open up the east side on the south side of Lansing and gain total customers, traffic, increase more people coming into east side, and also target our customers and their new customers through creative ads. All right, the brand strategy, our initiative, we're going to serve, trust, and options for everyone, one step at a time. Since East Side is a huge factor in the Lansing community, we also give back to the Lansing community a lot, and we want to reach people who care about the success of local businesses, also and want to support hardworking owners and employees. And our goal again is to create awareness for the grill options that East Side offers.
So now we want to talk about our target audience. So we want to make sure that we target obviously residents within the Lansing and East Lansing area. And then we also want to make sure we include everybody, that nobody is excluded. So we want to make sure that we had a wide range of demographics between the ages of 16 to 60. And so because this is a large range, we want to make sure that this includes Michigan State University students and also the Lansing Community College students as well. Also high school students, and then because East Lansing and Lansing area is a very diverse and forever growing area, we want to make sure that we include people who are new to the area and also those who have been living here for a very long time. And then also make sure that those individuals who are also already been doing business with East Lansing, that we make sure that we include those as well, with the addition of adding new members to use Eastside Fish Fry. So because we have a large range of demographics, we want to use 2 social media platforms. So to reach our younger demographics, as we stated, college students, high school students, maybe even individuals who are new to the area, we want to use Instagram. I think Instagram is a very good platform, especially with days of now you can have ads where they can show up. You may not exactly be following them, but you can still have an ad or a sponsor showing up on your timeline feed just to create that action or that awareness of your business as well. Secondly, for the older demographics, typically between the ages of 31 and 60, we want to stay traditionally using Facebook. Facebook is very good for, it's very fairly simple. It's not a lot of bells and whistles. So I think that's why a lot of the older demographics tend to use this more. And so we want to use this as well to target our older demographics and still have those sponsorships within the Facebook platform as well. And lastly, we want to just have this call to action. So within our marketing plan, we want to have this call to action, telling our target audience to connect with us. So if you are between the older demographics as well, you can like our Facebook page, comment, say that you had a great experience, leave a review. And secondly, for our same goes with the Instagram. Instagram is very great because you can have a lot of interactions. You can use stories. You can say comment Eastside Fish Fry or whatever you like to gain that interaction between your customer. Although that we did say that we wanted to use these 2 social media platforms for specific demographics, that does not mean that a younger person cannot use their Facebook as well, or an older person cannot use Instagram. These also have cross functionalities as well. So we want to have that call to action, telling our target audience to connect with us and be engaged, and come out and get our fresh fish and have it grilled as well.
All right. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. So obviously, as you've heard us talk about before in the presentation, We really want to kind of focus in on the grilled options that Eastside Fish Fry has. And so we created a few graphics to post on our social media pages with different slogans like "Try grilled today" and "Who said fast food couldn't be healthy," just to share the idea that you can still go to Eastside and you don't have to get like a fried food. You can try to get something healthier. All right, for our video campaign, the concept we kind of had was to show a family after work, and then we can just go to the next page so I can tell you a little more about that. So the first shot would be a father coming home from a long day of work, maybe the mother's coming home from a long day as well, and they all come in and, you know, they're kind of tired, so they don't really want to make their own food. So the father would be scrolling through his social media pages and they see an Eastside Fish Fry ad, and so they talk to the family, they all get really excited, and they go out to Eastside. So then they would kind of do a wide shot of the restaurant so that you can see where they are. They would all walk in as a family, get greeted by a friendly employee, and all get their food. Probably would try to push the grilled items in the video. And then they would get home and show a shot of them all at the dinner table together with the family and all enjoying their food.
So next we wanted to display our finalized copy of our press release. To kind of sum it up, we wanted to highlight our goal, which was to increase those grilled options, and we really wanted to focus on encouraging people to come out and support the local business. So that kind of sums up what we would put out there, and to kind of just push business forward and increase those grilled fish item sales.
We have a 4-month process. The first month would consist of release, publication, post on social platforms, and post flyers. The second through third month will consist of boost posts, track progress, engage with customers online, and release new content. And the final month, the 4th month, will consist of post final content, track customer feedback. At this time, we will see increase in sales and customers. Brand strategy tactics. You don't have to do this alone. You have to post 3 times a week during highly engagement times for a 4-month campaign. Some great times would be Monday evening around 5 p.m. People will see this post more often than not because it would be after work. And they will be thinking about dinner and looking for something fast after their busy week of work. Wednesday midweek, post during lunch for all those looking for food. Friday afternoon, just in time for the weekend. People are going out for various reasons and can stop by at any time. We want to advertise our grilled options and weekend specials.
Okay, and for our marketing goals for Eastside Fish Fry and Grill, we want to increase the foot traffic near and inside of Eastside by 35% at the least, increase over 600 followers between the Instagram and the Facebook pages, and we want to interact with our customers friendly and efficiently, and we would like to have polls that allow the customers to give us feedback so the customers feel like they have at least a say-so in the company since we cater so much to the Lansing area. And we want to post 3 times a week, like Connor just said, on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
This is the budget outline. It will consist of boosted posts, food testing, marketing team, creative designs, video production, spot press release, campaign flyers, and local radio broadcasting. And you will have their return on investment will be a significant $8,000.
Okay, to finalize our presentation, we would like to reiterate our goals and why is it important for us to reach them. So listed here are 5 main goals that we spoke about frequently during the presentation. And by doing all of this, we'll be able to bring awareness to those grilled options like Henry asked, and we'll be able to help the expansion of his business while driving more customer visits and also increasing revenue. As Jay said at the beginning of this video session, as we were working with Henry, we really realized his passion for his business and how community driven he is. He really cares about serving the community and the people of Lansing some really quality food. And we really wanted to tie that in to our marketing campaign. So that was really our dedication for our goals, and we wanted those to go hand in hand. So all together, we really want to thank you all for your time and your busy schedules, and we also want to thank Henry for allowing us to work with him these past few months, even though he's been very busy. And yeah, we're happy to hear that business is doing well, and we're excited to see him succeed. And yeah, so that is it. If anyone has any questions, let us know.
Great job, Eastside Fish and Grill. Round of applause for them. I think that looked great. We can let Henry, if you have any, remarks, we'll let you go first before we jump in there.
Bro, Henry, you're on mute. Mute, brother.
There we go. Sorry about that. My daughter's around, so she's screaming. I don't want y'all to have to deal with it. But, I like the ad that followed that family all the way through their dinner. It's real life. That's the type of ad that's going to help us get that customer. If it's a typical family where maybe the woman gets to choose where they eat at for whatever reason, and she's a health conscious woman, and she's like, well, I don't want to go to Eastside Fish Fry because that she doesn't know that they have grilled items. But because her husband was able to see that they do have some grilled items, he was able to offer to her, hey, I know you want grilled fish, and I know you don't think they do, but hey, look, they really do got it. It's right here. And then she tries it, and it is good. And it was $5 or $10 or sometimes $20 cheaper than a big brand or one of our bigger competitors that she can come and she can get some fresh food. It's not sitting in a warmer for 20 minutes. I think that's the things that are going to create a new customer and going to create repeat customers. When they expect, it's kind of in the ghetto a little bit, kind of, and, they don't have the big, huge marketing bucks that some of the bigger companies have. But then they go there and they're like, wow, the people that were there smiled. The people that were there had manners. The place was clean. They're doing the best they can with the materials that they have. And on top of that, the food was slapping when we got it home. And so, and we saved $5 to $10 off of what we would have went to another store and got. And so I think the realness and the real life from open to close with that ad, I like that. It made sense to me as a consumer also. So I like that.
Good. Thank you for that, Henry.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I really liked the authenticity as well. I thought it was very appropriate for what you're trying to accomplish, very clearly targeted, had a very good sense of what's involved. And I like the story aspect of it. That's a real important part of what makes people connect to a business or an organization is the story. So I love the social media engagement and everything else. Trying to build a community around the store. Word of mouth will just take off from there. So as you build that social media presence and that engagement, I think that's an excellent strategy to move the needle on a lot of sales on those items. So it'd be great to figure out how to implement a lot of that, because I think that would be a useful approach.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thank you again for working with us, Henry. We know you're busy and we appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It was cool, and you know, like I learned a lot of insight, and I hope I helped you guys out as best I could. I'm sorry, I wasn't always available when I was supposed to be, but I'm a single dad and trying to run this store with all this whole pandemic going on. It gets a little crazy.
Nightmare.
Yeah, it's all good. We learned a lot and we got a lot of feedback. We got all we needed. Thank you.
Yeah. Really appreciate it, Henry. I think that you did give them enough information for them to turn it around and make a great presentation. Social media centered presentation. I really like that. You know, I'm a social media guy. I liked it all, and obviously I don't have time to go over everything that I like. So I'll give you guys this one critique. I would say the ROI, the return on investment slide, where you say you put in $4,000, get $8,000 back. I think that was the most unclear thing of the presentation. Just figuring if you're gonna like I told you guys, when you talk about money, that's one of the most important things of the presentation. When you get to how much money is spending and how much money is supposedly gonna come back in. So if you're explaining that ROI, it has to be really clear how that money is gonna come back. Is that gonna be in terms of food sales? Is that gonna be in terms of the value of followers coming to the page, since it is a social media campaign? So just break down those projections a little bit more. I do like that you did include projections, because that's something that you guys have to do when you start talking about budget. But just make sure you break down that ROI a little bit more, so the client has a more clear vision of how that money is coming back. Other than that, great presentation. I loved it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, let's
This
jump
is
into
Marianne from the stateroom. I'm just going to chime in real quick. Henry, I have to tell you, I'm really excited to hear, as your neighbor and a fellow restaurateur, that you're doing really well and that you're busy. I think it's a testament to how much you are involved in the community. I think everyone in the community is really aware of how much time, how much energy, and you and your team's dedication to this community is admirable. So thank you for that. Really appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
That's amazing right there. All right. So look, it looks like we're still on schedule here. Speaking of stateroom, it looks like we're jumping into the stateroom next, right? Yep. Group 4, stateroom. So Cassidy, as you load up that presentation, we all are ready to receive your pitch.
Can you give me access to share the screen?
Yeah, David, can you make her a co-host or something?
Yep, Cassidy, you should have permissions now. Try that.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
I don't want anybody to feel bad that I'm only giving critiques. I'll tell you guys how great you did after this.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yep, we'll see everything perfectly.
Perfect. So, hi everyone. Thanks for taking the time to meet with us this evening. My name's Cassidy, and my team consists of myself, Ari, Kenny, Becca, and Rena. We are working with Marianne and Haley at the stateroom to kind of give them some more business influx as well. So the stateroom is a casual upscale dining restaurant affiliated with Michigan State University. What we're working on right now is that they are facing some challenges, as the stateroom's slightly sophisticated and a little bit above the price of local competitors. And they're located within the Kellogg Center, so that's also a challenge. Another major challenge is that they need to increase daytime business and increase their brand awareness. So the way that we are planning to do that is with the Meet, Eat, and Play campaign. This would be a partnership with Forest Acres West Golf Course, and it would provide an opportunity for local business in the Lansing area to socialize, in this case re-socialize, by playing a round of golf at Forest Acres West, and followed by a luncheon at a reserved room within the stateroom. As I said, our campaign goals are to increase brand awareness and increase daytime lunch flow. So the way that we'll do that is by partnering with Forest Acres to provide a discounted rate to the golf outing for groups that reserve the private room with the stateroom, and to reach new customers, including faculty and staff on Michigan State campus and local businesses. And the thing that we're kind of promoting is that the stateroom has the Eat Local Farm to Table initiative,
in their specialty menu items with their accredited chefs.
Our target audience are 30 to 49-year-old adults, that is demographic that participate in golf and will participate in business meetings. Our target audience will focus on the household income is over $100,000. The fun fact is 1 out of every 3 golfers work in top-level management. The stateroom provides an environment for them to meet together in a casual upscale environment. Farm-to-table dining experience provide a perfect environment for people to reconnect with their partners. The target audience can meet with each other while playing golf, and they can meet in the upscale environment after playing golf. The golf course provides a more relaxed and friendly environment with the water and nature instead of the white walls. With the meet, eat, and play campaign, these people can stay together for the whole day, which they have enough time to communicate with each other. This is intended to reach people who enjoy eating in a more upscale environment. It also meant to reach people who care about Michigan State and local business.
So when trying to find more information on new products or locations, adults in our demographic tend to utilize television, social media, and Google. The average adult watches 2.5 to 3 hours of TV per day. So for men, they primarily focus on Monday Night Football, and research shows that watching athletes provides a nostalgic feeling for men who were once athletes themselves. So for that reason, we've chosen to feature Michigan State athletes as golfers in our golf course scenes for the video treatment. In the next scene, when the golfers head over to the stateroom, as they take their seats, the camera will pan over to a group of women using the meeting space, and the women will being more naturally more social than men. We want to indirectly highlight that this space is a great location for brunch out with the girls. During this scene, we want to emphasize how comfortable the meeting space is, and that not only can golfers dine here after a long day on the course, but the space is great for groups to come, socialize, and be entertained. According to the Pew Research Center, our target demographic primarily watches news and sports channels. So our team has chosen WILXK News 10 and Fox 47 to air a commercial. Now I want to go into a little bit more about what our commercial will show. Feel free to get creative in visualizing this with me. So the starting scene opens up with a still wide shot from behind 2 golf courts, where our 4 MSU athletes are placing their golf equipment into the carts. So they drive away from the camera, heading towards the beautiful Forest Acres golf course. And in the next scene, they're playing their last hole and getting ready to wrap up their day. To transition into the next scene, we'll shoot a panning shot that'll follow the golfers as they leave the Forest Acres towards the stateroom. To transition into the next act, we'll shoot as a host greets them at the door of the stateroom, they'll lead them into their meeting space. Then the camera pans away from the 4 athletes over to the 4 women sitting in another meeting room talking and laughing. We'll get waiters to bring the food to the table, and as they're being served, the camera will pan around the 4 ladies, and that's when the scene will blur. And our 2 company logos will appear, Stateroom and Forest Acres, and that will fade onto the screen. The shot will cut back and forth between the men ordering and the women conversating, while a voiceover talks about what the meet, eat, and play package contains. The commercial will be aired on TV as well as featured on our YouTube and Facebook. So why do we choose Facebook for our social media platform? Out of Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, our target age group uses Facebook 32% more than the second highest social media platform. Because our campaign is meant to appeal to golfers, our team also decided to take income into consideration. The average income of golfers in 2018 was about $100,000 or higher. So those that fall under that category tend to utilize Facebook more than any of the 3 other main social media platforms. And lastly, Facebook had the highest appeal to those living in suburban neighborhoods, which a majority of Lansing falls under. So I decided to create a second infographic to explain why the stateroom needs its own YouTube channel. Compared to Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, YouTube has the highest engagement across all demographics. Not only does YouTube appeal at a high rate to our target audience, but we'd also be able to indirectly engage with multiple other demographics. 70% of all age ranges shown, except for those 65 and over, reports using YouTube on a daily basis. The same goes for the different income brackets as well as the living environments.
The third thing we want to focus on is our Google CEO. The section has more to do with Forest Acres. However, it's important to the success of the package, which is important to the success of the stateroom. When you Google anything golf related in Lansing, the first couple websites that are recommended are TripAdvisor, Golf Advisor, Golf Michigan, and Lansing.org. Because of that, we want to update the content on those sites, making sure that the new Meet, Eat, and Play package is included on them. For example, on Lansing.org, when you take a look at the Hawk Hollow page, they have a section for reviews and events. And then as it'll show, when you go under the events page, they have package options, and that shows the different things you can partake in when you go to the site. Now, when you go to the Forest Acres page, it just shows the location as well as the amenities. So we want to make sure we're adding as many promotional details to our page as possible, especially since Lansing.org is on the first page of Google when you search golf-related activities in Lansing. The second image on the side is a screenshot taken from Golf Advisor, and I've added our package on the sidebar to show what options we have available for advertisement. We want to make sure that the lovely graphics that were done by Chris are being put to use. Now, lastly, we wanted to create a Google link that takes you straight to the packages between Stateroom and Forest Acres. Creating a stronger CEO for the Meet and Eat package will increase exposure for both companies.
So as Ari already mentioned, we're going to be using Facebook and YouTube to appeal to our audiences, seeing they're the demographics that use these platforms the most. So as we have already mentioned, our main goal in this campaign is to spread campaign awareness. So we've created, or the Stateroom already utilizes a Facebook page. So on this Facebook page, we're going to post different posts featuring our campaign that has information about it. And we're also going to ask that Forest Acres, our partners, that they also post these graphics that Chris has done up for us. We're also going to be posting different features that feature our menu options. And what I'm most excited about for a post on Facebook to appeal to all of our audiences and to gain followers, we're going to run a contest that says it'll be a post, a picture with all of our information, and then on the bottom of it in the caption it'll say like our page, share the post, and tag someone you're looking forward to playing a round of golf with after quarantine to win a $30 gift certificate to the Stateroom. So now I'm going to talk about how we're going to utilize YouTube. So the video treatment that Ari went into in depth, first of all, we're going to be creating a YouTube channel, and then we'll be posting this video commercial onto our channel. We also are going to have we're going to make some videos with the management talking about different specials and promotions and packages for the Meet, Eat, and Play to advertise that. And we also think it's important to kind of show the people behind the company, to show the personality behind our business. So we think it's important to utilize our chefs, given they're making the food, to show video clips of them making foods and just describing the different food options that we have. And by doing this, we can really emphasize the farm to table feature and that we have gluten-friendly and vegan-friendly options. So all of the videos that we do make on YouTube, they're going to be posted on Facebook. So in addition, so to use both of these, also we're going to be using Facebook ads and YouTube ads. And then right now displayed on the screen, this is just an example of a press release that we can send onto different other platforms. LinkedIn, that's a free platform, and with using LinkedIn, we can expose our business to a lot of different business professionals who can then use the Stateroom for their business meetings. We can also post this in the State News, Lansing Journal, and the Chamber of Commerce Focus. So with that, I'm going to pass it on to Kyle, and he's going to go over some of our budgets.
So here's our budget projections, and I broke it up into one-time expenses and monthly expenses. So we have flyers, and we're putting a few less in the CAFs for the golf outing because that's more time sensitive. And we're also putting flyers to promote the Stateroom into the dining halls. We believe this will work because we always see people from the Lansing area eating in the Brody Calf and stuff, and that's right across the street from you guys. So we think we can get some business from there. Also, we want to target events like orientation when a lot of parents will be on campus. We also think that making a commercial will be helpful. And if you wanted to put your commercial on a news network, it would be $5 per every 1,000 viewers. So then we have our monthly expenses, and a Lansing Journal ad will be $100 a month. And Facebook ads and YouTube ads, these are just roughly, we put $150 each, which would, so basically how the YouTube and Facebook ads work is you set a budget with the company, and if the more money you put out, the more views that your ad will get. So if you put like $500, it would get more views than $150. So those monthly ads will make the total budget monthly $400 a month, and the one-time budget would be $3,875 to $8,025, depending on how much you guys wanted to use of the flyers, the table tents, and also depending on the commercial. And Cassidy's gonna wrap us up.
So we think that this would be a pivotal activity in the Lansing area that could potentially extend throughout Michigan. But the Meet, Eat, Play campaign will overall increase the stateroom brand awareness and drive business on that midday time frame. And wrapping up, we just want to say thank you to Marianne Haley for allowing us the opportunity to work with you guys and always making time to meet with us. We really appreciate it, and it was a pleasure to work with you. Do you guys have any questions?
All right, well, first round of applause. I don't know if you guys can see my sign right here, but that was perfect. That was really great. I really like that. That was a well-rounded presentation, very informational. I think the idea was super creative. Meet, eat, and play. It was just overall a really creative and well-executed idea. I don't even have any criticism right now. I don't know if I was just riding the wave of everything just looking so nice and sounding so nice, but good job. I'll let Marion and Haley, talk and say what they liked about it.
Yeah, we've really enjoyed working with Cassidy and the team. They've done a great job, and her leadership with her group has been great in keeping us informed on the process and allowing us to provide some feedback so they could tweak as they went. Coming up with this idea for a partnership with Forest Acres, who is one of our divisional partners here on campus, is a natural fit for us. So we were really excited when the group brought this to us. I really think they've done a nice job putting together a campaign. The published materials are really sharp, very professional, and certainly something that we could continue to use and put into the real world. So kudos to all of you for your hard work.
Yes, and I'll chime in here too and just say, yes, you did a wonderful job building out this campaign. It was clear that you really did your research, especially on target audiences, which is so important. And you gave us tips that we can actually use, such as updating the Forest Acres CVV page and running a Facebook contest along with those engaging graphics that looked really good. So thank you all for your work on this.
Thank you. And good job, guys.
Yeah, I would add that I think it's important to make sure that you have a clear path toward driving people to this option. And what I mean by a clear path is some kind of promotion package. You mentioned the package, but what is the package, and how do you sort of creatively price the package or make the package really interesting in some way? What's the incentive for them to get back in their car and drive to the Kellogg Center to have their lunch. You know, how do you make the link nice and tight? And then it would be also nice to have a sense of specific goals in terms of the number of people or the amount of business or views or something related to performance, so that you could judge whether or not your investment was appropriate. Jay's constantly harping on that because that's really important in campaigns, is to figure out what's your goal in either impressions or business or something that people can point to that says, yes, this is a good investment. And you know, your job is to land clients and be a business partner to the clients. You're not there for a transactional kind of thing. You want to be the business partner for the clients to help grow their business. So what are they expecting in terms of that business growth, and what would they like to see? And how do we know which of these particular media are working? What kinds of hits are we getting? What kind of click-throughs, what kind of openings of things and so forth are we seeing as a result of the campaign? So always try to include those metrics as well as you move forward in your careers when you're doing this sort of thing for real, is constantly demonstrating the value of what you bring to the client as a business partner. But thank you. I love the presentation, just like the others. Love the mix of things. I liked what you caught with the website. I would agree that those are critical elements, and the more engagement that you can get, the better for folks. It also is nice to think about couples golf, because golf is a real social kind of thing. I golf almost exclusively with my wife, who doesn't even really, we're not going to even do 18. We do 9. Take a couple hours, do 9, and then we're hungry afterwards. So this is a perfect option for us. And we'll get another couple and have fun and make fun of each other and how we play on the golf course and stuff like that. And maybe bet a bottle of wine on, who does the worst. Stuff like that. That could just make it fun. So how do you make it really fun and interesting and engaging, and pull it together and really emphasize the power of the package, in this case, of really enticing people to really engage in both activities. But I love the idea of the package and getting people to connect with one another in that way. And I like the graphics and the visuals and all the assets that you created as well. Thank you.
Yes, great job.
Thanks, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, great job, State Room. Great job to everybody that has gone so far. We have saved the medical field for last with New Image Medical. So we'll jump right into that. I know that they have a great presentation lined up for us. Who's that, Hannah? Hannah, do you have your screen ready to share?
Yep, I'm sharing it right now.
Okay, perfect.
All right, can everyone see that?
Yep.
Do see it. Muting my microphone now.
All right, perfect. So thank you everyone for taking your time to be here tonight. I know it's getting kind of late, so we're gonna, keep this brief, still do a great job. So to start, I'm gonna introduce my team. Garrett, are you there?
Make sure you're unmuted, Garrett, everybody, Sarah, Elise, Hannah.
Okay, I'm Elise Pollock.
I'm Sarah Omar.
All right, and I'm Hannah Starr. So just to get started, we're gonna kind of dive into what New Image Medical is all about. So our group has been working really closely with Renee these past few weeks in order to develop a previously non-existent brand identity for the company. So New Image Medical Network is a Las Vegas-based company that specializes in curing incontinence. So incontinence is a loss of bladder control varying from a slight loss of urine after sneezing, coughing, or laughing to complete inability to control urination. It also includes losing control of bowel movements, and symptoms include frequent urination, urgency, incomplete emptying, And this is more than just an inconvenience. Incontinence can lead to a UTI. And for example, it controls all aspects of your life. So an elderly person can fall and break their hip on one of their 7 trips to the bathroom in the middle of the night due to incontinence. So next I'm going to get into the impacted groups. So there are 4 main afflicted groups. The first is new mothers. The second is elderly or people over the age of 55, men, and kids. The causes can range from age, giving birth, car accidents, gymnastics accidents, or just an overall weak pelvic floor. The ages that incontinence affects are from 6 to 105 years old, and 35 million people in the US alone suffer from this. So some of the issues at hand, the biggest problem is that medical schools aren't teaching pelvic floor rehabilitation. So what pelvic floor rehabilitation is, the nerves in the pelvic floor are stimulated back into strength so individuals can control their bowels and bladders. So basically, if this isn't being taught in medical school, doctors aren't going to believe it. It's a very slow process to convince each doctor and each clinic to use pelvic floor rehabilitation, and has to be done one by one. Doctors are also inclined to go a more surgical route because it's more money for them. There's a lot of skepticism overall in the field over this, and then it's also awkward to talk about. It's hard to start a conversation about something that's seen as taboo or gross. And now Garrett is going to talk about the highlights of pelvic floor rehabilitation.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Okay, so there are several highlights of pelvic floor rehabilitation. It is non-surgical, has lasting effects, it's covered by insurance, and improves your overall quality of life. There's no comprehensive program that can compete with this one. We have conclusively proven that this works. This isn't a new procedure. Medicare, Medicaid, and Blue Cross Blue Shield all recognize this procedure. Actually, there's even a rebate offered from the insurance company when this procedure is performed because it saves the insurance company lots of money. Currently, there are lots of secondary benefits that New Image Medical is discovering. We are providing a press release in order to contact universities and clinics. We're also providing a film treatment to connect with potential customers, and we are providing an advertisement geared towards online websites to connect with those who are potentially afflicted. Now, onto the big idea. The campaign's target audience has 2 main focuses. The first is doctors' offices because medical practitioners need to be aware of New Image's pelvic floor rehabilitation program and how it can benefit their patients. The second is medical schools. Most doctors are skeptical and uninterested in procedures not taught in medical school. By educating the next generation of doctors, this problem will be eliminated. The target area that New Image shoots for is Nevada, as well as parts of California. The campaign's goals are to provide information about the medical treatments available by New Image's system and educate the medical world. The goal is to get doctors on board with accepting this non-surgical treatment as a good option for their patients. This method needs to be eventually taken nationwide and have it be applicable everywhere. The first group that would be a good fit is with physical therapists, as the methods used by the New Image medical team are non-surgical, just like physical therapists. Another group would be anyone who offers rehabilitation programs such as doctors' offices and hospitals. Most hospitals or doctors' offices either have physical therapists on staff or other people who work in rehabilitation. The way the partnership would be structured is so the specialists, the pelvic floor technicians, who work with New Image Medical to teach their methods to those who haven't learned them. For marketing, this program, grassroots is the optimal route because word of mouth is often the best marketing. By engaging with brand evangelists, consumers will become interested in pelvic floor rehabilitation. As long as we engage with and successfully implement teaching pelvic floor rehabilitation in a few medical schools, the success from these programs would be proof to have other schools adopt this methodology as well. New Image Medical is also in the process of getting published on the white pages. Now on to Elise with our publication.
Okay, hi everybody. So a little bit about our publication. Basically, the main point of our campaign is to get this information out there that this is an option for people. So with this press release, I've broken it down into each paragraph. And with the first paragraph, it would just be kind of an introduction to incontinence and New Image Medical as a whole. I know personally, I had no idea what incontinence was or that it was an issue prior to this assignment. So And then we have the second paragraph. We put a little bit of statistics about the condition. Hannah kind of broke those down, basically like the ages suffering, and that, you know, people aren't alone with this. Like, there's so many people out there that suffer from this condition. In the third paragraph, we go a little bit more into pelvic floor rehabilitation and talk about how it can be a relief from incontinence and how it can benefit people. And then an example, or in the paragraph 4, we use examples to show how the relief will help. So I know specifically in this press release, we talked about how older people, they'll have to get up many times in the night, and, you know, they could hurt themselves getting up so late, it being dark at night, by having to go to the bathroom so often. So we think relief from these symptoms would help with them just sleeping through the whole night. And then in the last paragraph, we put some contact information for New Image Medical, just so people can have somewhere to go and know where to navigate that. Next, we have the film treatment. So we decided to use a real life situation, and we did the Grand Canyon with like a family hiking. So the idea of this is to have the idea of the feeling of having to go not stopping you from going. Our commercial is basically like a family going on a trip to the Grand Canyon where the mom has to stay behind because of the symptoms, or, you know, the condition of incontinence. It's stopping her and not allowing her to enjoy the time with her family. For this, we wanted to use a 2D animation because we feel like this could be an embarrassing and kind of a weird topic. Therefore, the use of animation would be a little more playful and a little bit easier on the eyes. And then we wanted to use a voiceover over using actors, because a lot of times with this kind of stuff, the purpose of the commercial is more so to inform people, not necessarily have like actors acting something out. We want to more so get the information across, not necessarily have people acting, isn't as clear that way. Next, the budget. So we set a budget of $7,200 for a 15 to 30 second video. We budgeted about $200 to $750 for an illustrator, about $1,000 to $5,000 for an animation team, and then a voiceover costing anywhere from $25 to $200. And now we'll be moving on back to Hannah with the advertisement.
So for this, we worked with Chris Lemon, who is a great advertisement creator in Lansing, Michigan. So this is ideal for Facebook and Instagram and even LinkedIn. So for Facebook, we're definitely going to try and target the elderly and mothers, because mothers include new mommies as well as kids. So, you know, if you're 6 years old, you're not necessarily going to know what incontinence is. So it's going to be the parents that are kind of taking care of that. And then LinkedIn, we're going to use to target elderly and men, because a lot of elderly, remember in this case, it's just 55 and older, are business professionals. So these people are on LinkedIn, and then men aren't really using Instagram and the other sources of media as much. And then Instagram is to target men and new mommies, because the new moms, you know, they pretty much all have Instagrams. They're active on Facebook, Instagram, that sort of thing. And then men use Instagram pretty heavily as well. And the best thing about this is it's free to share these graphics. And the largest battle is that people don't know about New Image Medical and pelvic floor rehabilitation. So this is a cost-effective way to get our name out there. And grassroots is currently the main way people hear about this. So, you know, a new mom will talk about it, and then they'll talk about it to their mom, and then spread to their little community of moms. So this is kind of grassroots in a bigger way. And it really gets a conversation started. So this ad is family oriented, and it matches the vibe of our family inspired film. And our call to action is the New Image Medical logo that encourages people to seek out this brand, along with the phone number underneath this. Seeing this will inspire someone suffering from incontinence to seek out options and know that change is available and a higher quality of life can be achieved. New Image Medical is the way to help someone live a better life. Now Sarah is going to share our marketing plan.
So our marketing plan will have people, say the elderly are sitting at home, that was our target audience, watching TV, and then we'll have a commercial shown out to them in the greater Las Vegas area, and then hopefully eventually nationally. It'll be the friendly animation of the people going into the Grand Canyon. It's like a friendly, relatable approach, and then that way people can even see symptoms. Maybe they're like, some people with incontinence are unaware of their condition. So seeing that, they'll be able to maybe like, oh, I haven't been able to go on a trip, and be able to relate to it. And then also the publication is extremely important in getting it out, because it'll give information to people like doctors, medical students. Those are some of the most important people to know about this new technology, because also it takes a lot of training to be able to do this. So this is important as well. And then also beginning grassroots. So people read the publication, they'll begin talking, and that's so important. And then also we'll have flyers and our graphic in places like doctors' offices, importantly, and hospitals, because people are more likely to read an ad like this when they're at somewhere like the doctor's, because it could be embarrassing for people with incontinence. And then also as well, we'll have our ads on Instagram, Facebook. Our target audience, obviously elderly and new mothers, so we thought that would be the best approach to showing this. And New Image Medical is an amazing non-surgical approach to people with incontinence, and so many people are suffering from this. So we're really proud and happy to be giving this information out to other people who don't otherwise know about New Image Medical's work. Thank you so much for everyone who watched, and we'll open the floor up to questions now.
All right, New Image Medical. Great job. Round of applause. Them.
Yeah, very good, guys. This is Dr. Mike. Thank you guys for all the work that you put into this. This was really, really good. You know, our work in this is important to us. Of course, it's important to, you know, safety of maybe our elderly. It's true, a lot of you youngins don't know what that is, but you talk to anybody as they get older, it becomes a much more interesting conversation. So we're really proud that you guys had a chance to kind of see what maybe unfortunately the future won't hold for you if we can get enough of these treatment programs out there for people. And you know, I really enjoyed everything that I saw. I'm going to definitely, you know, put some notes down, and I'll let Renee comment a little bit.
Well, the couple comments I have is I think you guys did an excellent job in humanizing what is a condition that most people would prefer not to discuss. And the slant you took with the medical profession was really not based on monetary compensation, but on patient wellness. So I really like the overall goodness that comes out of being able to have a better quality of life with a minimal procedure that they may or may not have ever been available. So no, I think the group did a great job, and we didn't overemphasize the monetary aspect of it, which is essential in nature. But that's not the intent of what we're trying to accomplish here. So great job.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I also want to reinforce that I thought it was an excellent presentation dealing with a very difficult subject. This isn't food. It's not something abstract like the VCI. And I really like the diversity of the challenges that we had here, because this is a delicate issue, but so critically important to quality of life and everything else. But it's even different than advertising for like knee replacements and so forth, because people can easily talk about, oh gosh, you have a bad knee or a bad hip or something. But nobody wants to go around saying, oh yeah, I'm incontinent. You know, nobody wants to sort of have that be a conversation starter. So what you guys have done is to really make it okay to think about it, to deal with it, and talk about it, frankly, at home with your family and loved ones and so forth. And I think you're right, humanizing this problem and saying, hey, you know, this is just a part of life. It's very common for people. It's important that you understand this, and there is a strategy, there is a solution, and you should approach that. I think more and more people now are open to a lot of medical technologies that have been created that are non-invasive kinds of things that don't require surgery and other procedures. So I'm glad you really emphasized that and worked hard to make that brand start to pop and start to become acceptable and reasonable and engaging and very sort of family oriented. So those are the aspects of it that I liked.
Yeah, great presentation. I think you guys did a great job. If I would put my one critique in there, again, more measurables. I want to know what's the determination that this campaign was successful, Is it strictly by the number of people who sign up for this procedure? Are we trying to get a certain number of people? Are we trying to get this in a certain amount of facilities or practices? What's the measurables here? I think if you guys break that down and couple that with, more detailed projections of, working towards that goal, I think that will just, put the cherry on top of this presentation.
Let me also add to that about measurables, that we also have in this set of presentations very diverse sets of measurables. Henry's interested in customers pretty directly. I need more people coming in the door. I need more awareness of grilled items, right? So very concrete kinds of things. Same perhaps with the stateroom. Axia a little bit different. Axia and New Image are similar in the fact that there's a staged process of decision making. When you have something big and it's abstract and it's unusual, the first measurable that you'd want to look into, I think, would be to what extent are people actually pursuing information, clicking on a website, opening a brochure, opening a letter, making a phone call, something that actually shows some interest on their part. And when you have something big and complicated like that, that's really what your goal is to get interest. And so how many people are demonstrating interest by clicking or going or viewing or opening or doing something that shows that they're attracted to this idea, they get the message, but they just want to learn more to see if it's appropriate for them. In big complicated things like that, that's the case. It's like a car dealership. When you make a car, buy a car, you want to really maybe visit the dealership multiple times. Foreign car, more expensive car dealers, they know that people have to come back to the dealership 3 and 4 times before they're going to pull the trigger on something. So it's really a series of goals that you want to create and understand moving forward with something, when you're branding something as complex and as difficult to deal with as these are. So I'm really, again, glad for this diversity to show you the importance of, well, what are we trying to accomplish from a communication perspective to pull people in and to actually convert people at some points. More complicated in some situations than it is in others.
Yeah, that's a great point, Donahue. That conversion process is exactly that. It's a process. So there's going to be different stages of that process that you want to start moving these customers to, moving these leads to, and that can in turn be immeasurable. We have a certain amount of interest, we have a certain amount of clicks, we have a certain amount of people coming through this funnel with their emails, and then we can retarget them. So it's a process that you have to go through in order to work towards the goals of this campaign. And I think that every group today could have increased or worked towards getting that process out more in their presentation. So going forward, remember, outlining clearly that process is going to be big in your presentations.
The other point I want to make is about influencer marketing. We didn't really emphasize that in the course, but a lot of marketing is now moving toward influencers, like in New Image and in Axia and so forth. When you have a complicated decision, one of the processes that you go through is trying to talk to other people that have gone through this. Right, so somebody said to me, I need a partial knee replacement, and so I was talking to my neighbor about it, and she's pretty up on medical stuff, and she said that her brother-in-law got a regenerative thing. They didn't have to cut his knee open; they just did some stem cell injections into his knee and grew his cartilage. And I'm going, what? My mind, you got to be kidding me. So those people are influencers. So when you have a complex decision like this, you want to say, well, how can we find these influencers? How can we encourage them to really be the people that other people go to gather information? It's harder, it's a little trickier, but often these are bloggers and people that have the technical expertise and so forth in the community to really be informed about that. You tend to find that in complex decisions, people will seek information in this kind of pattern. I've written several articles on information seeking, particularly about medical issues. And that's kind of the way it works, is going through this multiple steps. I'll click on it. Oh yeah, maybe that's something interesting. It tricks your mind. Then a couple weeks later, a couple days later, you go talk to somebody and say, well, what do you think? Did you go through this? And what's it like? And do you think it was beneficial? And then you might then say, call the clinic and say, oh, you know, I've got some friends. They said this, blah, blah, blah. Tell me more. You know, what are the opportunities to actually gather information? So if I'm selling a service like that that's complicated, I want multiple strategies for them to gather accurate, effective information about what I'm trying to promote.
100%, Bill. 100%. So well, thank you. Thank you for that feedback. Thank everybody for their feedback. Once again, thank you to all of the clients, the sponsors,
Yes,
really help bring this whole idea to life for this program that we're going to continue pushing forward. So we really hope to see each and every one of you along this journey continue to stay with us and work with us to continue to make this better and better. Just a reminder before we get off here, for our clients, if you can please fill out that voting survey, because we do want to determine a winner here. If you go on that survey, it'll be, I think, 9 different categories or 10 different categories, being the best graphic, the best publication, the best presentation overall, creativity. And each different category, you'll have 3 slots where you can fill out, 1 being the best, 3 being the least best, but still better than, I guess, the other 5, because there's 5 categories in general. So just to students, so you know how that works, if you get voted as the best in the specific category, then you'll get 3 points for that category. All right, so you have an opportunity to win 3 points for 10 different categories, making a total of 30 points. All right, so whoever gets the most points after this voting session, they'll be the #1 winner, which in turn you'll get 10 points extra credit for each student. You'll get a Midas branding certificate, and then you'll get a package that we're putting together. We're still working on it, but you'll get another package as well. So a lot of goodies for the winner. Just extra incentive to bring your A game every time you work on something like this, or every time you work on anything in general, because you never know what could be the outcome of it. In this case, you get extra credit certificates. So I hope that satisfies you all.
So what's the next step? Hopefully people will fill out their online evaluation forms of the class. There won't be any obviously paper ones this year. Normally we would do paper, but fill out the online ones. And I don't think we're meeting next week, are we, Jay, or are we?
Yeah, we're gonna meet.
Oh, good.
We're gonna
Okay,
meet.
good.
It's only be about 20, 30, not even 30 minutes. Just come. We'll give a little bit more feedback on the presentations. We'll wrap up everything. We'll do the final peer evaluations and the instructor evaluations, and then we'll call it a wrap.
Wonderful. Well, thanks everybody for coming tonight, and looking forward to final comments next week. But again, you made all of us very proud that you did such a incredible job. So I appreciate everybody's efforts, and I hope it was a worthwhile learning experience for everybody. We certainly learned a ton and really enjoyed ourselves. Any final comments? Okay, thanks again, everybody. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, Henry, and all the sponsors.
Thank you, John, Marianne, Haley, Mike.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you guys as well.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
You guys
did great.
All right. Good night.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
All right, and clients, if you guys get that survey in, we'll be sure to email the students, letting everybody know who's the winner and everything like that. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Appreciate everything that everyone has done for this class and this program so far, and I hope everybody stays safe.
All right, take care. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Go green.